Whoa! 83% of you watching right now aren't subscribed. I'd be really grateful if you did. What is up, people? TenCent here, and today I'm back with another Forge in the Barrens Wild video. Today I'm bringing a special deck because for a number of months now, besides broken decks that got nerfed immediately, this has been the unanimous best deck in Wild. That deck, of course, is Darkglare Warlock. Now, along with that unanimous best deck in the game, it also comes with the hardest deck to pilot. This deck is not easy. But if you can get at least a reasonable grasp on how to play the deck, you will have no problems on ladder. Part of the reason this deck is so hard is because it relies on you bringing down your own life total to slam down a bunch of big giants quickly. Then with Loatheb, you can shut your opponent out of the game with a huge board and no way to deal with it. But you're here to watch how the deck plays, so without further ado, let's get into those games. Hello, Illidan. Yeah, Demon Hunter can be a bit tough just because they do so much damage. But this is a good hand. I'm definitely willing to keep this raised dead with this Librarian and a Flesh Giant. Cool. Rain of Fire will actually be really good against, assuming this is odd Demon Hunter. But there are plenty of other things it could be. Cool. As expected. So we want our Molten Giants in this matchup, and obviously we're not going to mulligan away a Flesh Giant to make that happen, but the Molten Giants will probably end up being better, just because this is only when our health changes on our turn as opposed to the Molten Giant that's just life loss total. Luckily we're not too low. And I'm not going to play that yet. Though with the Broomstick that does become quite good. Interesting play out of our opponent there. I think I will go ahead and actually shoot this to our face. And then go ahead and Broomstick and kill that. I'm just trying to stay careful because odd Demon Hunter can get us so low so fast. There is an argument to raise setting there and getting both of those things back. And then maybe coining the Librarian, but we can do that this turn as well. Okay. Mana Burn. Okay. That's tough. I think our coin will come into play here. Okay. Array's dead. Toss that out there. Another Librarian. Not loving that. Oh, but double Flesh Giant is pretty good. We're just gonna slam those, and I'll explain why in a sec. And I'm gonna put one of those Librarians into it, and can they do 6? Nah, we'll put it there. Put that face. So I'm gonna play these Giants before we have a Loatheb, because against odd Demon Hunter, you have to think of how many ways they can deal with something that has 8 health. Not a lot besides just swinging into it, which we definitely like to see on our end because that means they're still taking the damage. So we're going to play this down, and waiting for the Loatheb also means that we are letting off on a lot of tempo. Just waiting for that to stick around when they probably can't deal with it. It looks like we did get the Loatheb anyways, but like, see, we win this turn. But if we had waited for the Loatheb, we probably would have lost the game. Almost certainly would have lost the game. So that's why that's pretty critical. But here we get a win. Well played. How's it going, Jaina? Cool. So with this deck, we want to be mulliganing mainly for Tour Guide and Kobold Librarian. Darkglare is good to have too, but we mainly want those draw cards. Giants are also good to have. Since we have 3 looks, I think I will keep 1 giant. And of course I'm keeping the gold one, right? Cool. So we got our tour guide and a Darkglare. Cool. So I think I will... So there is an argument to waiting to tap until we play our Darkglare, but we don't have anything else that we want to play that turn, so I'm just going to go ahead and tap now. If we had like a Kobold Librarian, then I would wait to use that tap, but we won't have anything we want to play right now. So we did get that Spirit Bomb. I'm going to go ahead and just life tap this turn. That Raised Dead is very good. It's going to allow us to cheat a lot of mana out with our Darkglare. And it's also allow us to just play our Darkglare and not really have to worry too much about it dying or anything. Cool, so Darkglare out. Another one, Portal. So we can go actually ahead and kill that. Play this, draw a card. Molten Giant, you'll love to see it. I'll go ahead and Spirit Bomb that too. And then we can Drain Soul to get a little bit of, yeah, a little bit of life back. Since it is a mage, and we have a Flesh Giant, that Drain Soul does still do a little bit of cost reduction for us. Okay. So our Darkglare is gone. We get another Flesh Giant. Let's tap. What do we get? Another Power Overwhelming. So that's actually pretty good. So we don't have a Loatheb. So I'm going to go ahead and drop 2 of our Giants. And one of them did get explosived, unfortunately. But that's just part of the risk, right? We had nothing to play around it with. And I would like to find a Loatheb before I play the other Giants. But for now, these 2 plus these Power Overwhelmings is quite good. Now off the top, something like a... Interesting. What do they have? A Zeph. Oh. No, I'm not really sure what that is. To be honest with everybody. Could be Flame Ward. I'm really not sure what this it could be, like a Reno, so I'm not really sure. Okay, so it was Flame Ward. So I'm gonna take a guess and say this is going to die. So what I'm actually gonna do is go here and here and get in for that. Do that for next turn, and then get our other Giant down. So let's see how they can deal with that. Now it could be Reno, so we don't. They could have Reno, they could have Reno Ecologist, they could have Zeph. But considering how they dealt with that last board, I don't think that they have either, or any of the above. You just have to make those reads. Especially, it's kind of tough because you only have the 4 Giants and 1 Loatheb. But you also have to assess because those threats become much less substantial as the game goes on. Since there are lots of late game ways to deal with them. Especially out of decks like Warlock. And Mage has ways to, you know, freeze the board and whatnot. Okay, so they did have Reno. We have a Backfire. Let's draw here first. A Molten Giant. not sure how comfortable I feel going that low. It would be nice to get some of our life here. Raised Dead isn't quite it, so we'll go ahead and trade in there. Trade here. And our life total is getting low enough where I kind of just want to play this Molten Giant because I don't know how long we can live. And next turn, I will play this Backfire, just looking to find something to either keep us alive or activate our Zeph, because then the game is over. So what does opponent got for us here? Not a ping face, which is interesting. Anklebiter is a good first draw. Okay, so let's see if we can get a Broomstick. Oh, okay, so we did get our Broomstick. And we also got this Spellstone. So we have 17. Zeph gives us Wind Fury to make this another 8. So that's not quite lethal. I think I have to play this. I think I have to play the Spellstone. We can't play around Counterspell. Cool. Okay. Let's see what they have. We can also next turn Zeph for something that destroys secrets, because there's a very good chance that that's Ice Block. Not a very good, but I mean, it's not Counterspell, it's not Netherwind. Okay. Cool, so we can play this Cheeky Anklebiter. And we can play this Broomstick to gain just a slight bit of health back. And I think I'll play this Tamsin to just have it on the board. Cool. There's also an argument to playing Soularium to get Loatheb, but I don't really think it's worth it. Personally, I think we just want that life. Especially when we have Zeph in hand and can potentially get Flare or something of that sort. Okay. That doesn't save them. Cool. Okay. So let's start with a Raised Dead, see if it gets countered. Perfect. We got him. Okay, as long as we get a Flare or something. Okay, cool. Was that their Ice Block? Yes, it was. Well played. Oh, that was a close one. But that's the stick, right? Oh. How's it going, Valera? Cool. So I don't think I'm going to keep any of this hand because we only have 3 cards and none of them get us draw. Even though Raised Dead and Flesh Giant are good to have in your opener, we just need that draw, especially if we're on the play. And unfortunately, we didn't get it, but you have to look for it. So this could be a tough one, especially against the things that Rogue could be. But same game plan, just hurt in our face. Tamsin, not what we're looking for. But still no worries because this deck is incredibly good at getting through your cards. That's part of why Zeph works in the deck, because you draw through your deck so quickly that it will be online actually a good amount of the time. At least when you need it. Interesting. Oh, we have a lot of giants, and Rogue can't really deal with them besides stuff like Vanish. So this is really interesting. I'm curious if this is the Jade deck from the video that will have been 2 days ago, but is yesterday when I'm recording this. Or I guess it posted this morning, but I recorded it yesterday. Oh, no, it's not. That's a shame. I got excited. Librarian is sweet. And we will throw that there for that little bit of life. Now, normally you want to send this Anklebiter face because it reduces the cost of your flesh giants by 2. But if you have a 3/1, it's kind of hard to pass up. Cool. And we don't really care about them trading in our board. Cool. So I'm going to go ahead, and I'm not going to click the button here, and I'll wait till next turn with the Loatheb just to get, or the Darkglare, excuse me, to get a little bit more mana, and maybe have a pretty big turn. Magic Carpet, okay. Wow. So we got our... Oh, okay, so this is going to be a really big turn. We have our off-brand Lush Water Scout. Or I guess Lush Water Scout came first, right? Okay, so I'm gonna... We're gonna start with the button. Got another Darkglare. Okay, we can do some really stupid things with mana now. Okay. Another Kobold Librarian. Cool. And we can do this. Unfortunately, we still don't have... Okay, there's a Loatheb. Now we're back up. And I will play it. And another giant. Cool. Now, it's really unfortunate that we didn't draw either of our Broomsticks for 2 reasons. First of all, a Broomstick on this board is great because we can clear that, gain a little bit of life off this Incubator, and clean up room to play our other giants. But also because Zeph is not online. Cool, so we will definitely play this. Play that. Okay, so we did finally get that Broomstick, but we can't play it anymore. We'll just play that, though, and start smacking face. Yeah, playing that Spellstone before we play these 2 giants, because we have a full board with 2 giants and a Loatheb on it already, plus Power of Whelming and Tamsin. Okay, so that is definitely well played from our opponent, though. We need a single thing to stick with this Power Overwhelming and Tamsin. Well played. Because that's just a free 8 damage. How's it going, Uther? I'm interested to see how this will play out. Cool, so I'm going to mulligan these 3, and I'll keep 1 Flesh Giant since we have 3 looks and the coin. Cool, so we got a Librarian, and this Anklebiter is perfect with these Flesh Giants because it can reduce their cost by 2. Greetings. So it looks like it's not odd. I'm not sure how, if it's like a tax paladin or a secret paladin, I'm not sure how that matchup will go. I'm interested to see. Tour guide. I don't think we coined that. The Holy Light. They're excited. Cool. Sir, you might have to be the first person we mute if you keep that up. Do we draw? We have what we need. Let's just keep building our board up. Yeah, let's go for that draw. We got our Loatheb. That's literally what... Yeah, they're getting muted. Sorry. Loatheb was literally the reason why we would do that, so... Paid off. Now we just need to keep on hurting ourselves until that... Or changing our life total, rather, until that turn 5. Cool. And we are slated to get there, because next turn we will life tap and swing with this Anklebiter. And we have 2 power overwhelmings. Wow. So we'll swing here first. Nothing. Go ahead. Life tap. Spirit Bomb's not worth it in my opinion. We'll pass the turn. Next turn we will double Flesh Giant and Loatheb. And we'll see what they have to do with it. Interesting. Interesting that they didn't put those together. Is it worth it to kill those? I don't think. I don't know. We'll go and play down our hand, see how they react. Keep swinging because we know that it doesn't matter. Whatever their secret is, it doesn't affect our swings. And I think it's safe to say this is probably wrapped. I mean, they could have Barov. Barov would actually be really good. Yeah, Barov would save them here. What else would save them? Barov is the main one I'm thinking of that would keep them in this. Besides that, I mean, these minions plus the 2 power overwhelmings. And we also have an additional 1 from this Cheaty Anklebiter if we need to. So it looks like our opponent might have disconnected. Oh no, they're still here. Well played. Good game, sir.